Alerts in Power BI Service let you set up listeners to go look at a number over time and trigger some alert if that number ever goes above or below a certain threshold, right? So let's say I'm here, I'm in the demo tutorial app, I'm in the tutorial report, and I'm in this alerts page. Now, I might want to set up an alert for this product return rate and say, hey, if this number ever goes over 3%, I want you to email me because that's an important event. But it's worth noting that alerts don't actually work on report pages at the moment. They only work on dashboards. So we have to use a version of this number that has been pinned to a dashboard. Luckily, if I come down here to sample dashboard, right, that product return rate has been pinned to the dashboard. And since it's pinned here in the dashboard, I can set up an alert for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and on this product return rate, I'm going to click this ellipsis right there, and I'm going to go to Manage Alerts, right? Now, right now, there's no alert set, so I'm going to add an alert rule. And I could give it whatever title I want to, but alert for product return rate. In fact, let's give this a better name. Let's call this product return rate is greater than 3%. That seems pretty reasonable. And so what we're going to say is, hey, by the way, if this number ever rises above 3%, so 0.033%, go ahead and by default, it'll pop up a little alert here in Power BI Service. More importantly, though, if this thing is checked down here, it'll send an email saying, hey, by the way, you told me to listen for the return rate jumping over 3%. It just did that. Now, you can ask it to check every 24 hours, or you can ask it to check up to once an hour, and that's about as far as you can go. So if I go ahead, hit save and close, now I've gone ahead and I've set up that alert, right? So if I now head to that same ellipsis and go to Manage Alerts, sure enough, there's that alert that I've set up. I can add another one, or I could twirl this one open to modify it, or I could hit the little trash can to delete it, right? Now, if you're a really fancy person, you can also use these alerts to use in conjunction with Microsoft Flow to do fancier stuff like, hey, by the way, if this product return rate jumps above 3%, I want you to do this action to this SharePoint list, or send these 30 emails out to these 30 different listservs, or something a bit fancier than just sending an email to me. But in general, just that email by itself tends to be very, very handy. One thing I will point out, right, I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel over here. If I come over here to sales over time, and I click on the ellipsis, there is no managing of alerts. The reason is, for those alerts to work for a particular tile, it has to be a tile that only has one number on it. Usually a card like this. There's a couple other visuals like the KPI that'll let you do it, but something like this where we've got sales over time, well, it's not quite sure which number I would want to talk about, therefore I can't set up an alert. So those alerts only work for visuals where you've got just sort of a single number like that.